Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see yesterday's and as well as today's important topics that appear in our Hindu newspaper. So let's get started with our discussion. First of all, I'll let you know the topics of the day and later on I'll analyze each and every topic from prelims mains point of view, and at last I'll be giving you prelims practice questions as well, so that you will be getting habituated like how questions can come in your examination, how you have to approach that questions. First, let us see the topics. There is one article regarding Mahat Satyagraha, and this time you may expect for sure 100% question from your prelims point of view from Mahat Satyagraha. Okay, so this is important from your history from GS paper 1, and you have to know each and every fact regarding this Mahat Satyagraha. And next topic, it is about FATF report points to India's action against fraudulent entities. So this article is talking about what exactly India is taking certain actions to control money laundering and terror financing in our country. And now here report is given by FATF. So here you have to know about what is FATF and what exactly the report given by this FATF. And on this FATF you may get a prelims question. And next topic is despite assurance from center, MG Narega's workers denied work. So as you all know that this age-old MG Narega scheme had been replaced by VBG Ramji Act, right? So now here central government is giving assurance work under this VBG Ramji Act now. But even though there is very less percentage of work and even in some areas there is denial to the work. So because of this you have to see what exactly the reasons of denial of this work under this VBG Ramji Act. And this time 100% sure you may get a question regarding this VBG Ramji Act 2025. Very important topic. And next topic is secretive jungle cats need habitats outside protected areas, says study. So this article is talking about one important species of animal, that is jungle cats. So if you are getting that kind of articles in newspaper which are doing dedicated study on any animal species, there is a very high chance of getting question on that species from environment and ecology. So here you have to know certain facts regarding this jungle cats and why we are doing this study and what this study says, and you have to know certain facts regarding this jungle cats. And next topic is on a wink, subsidies will not create demand for air travel to small towns. What is this article talking about? In last class we discussed about subsidies increasing for this Udan scheme from 3 years to 5 years, and that scheme is called as modified Udan. So now there is one article in your editorial page related to this modified Udan scheme. So here we have to see what are the provisions, and if there is any scheme which had been modified by the government, obviously there is a chance of getting a question because you are going to be the implementation of the schemes, implementer at the ground level. So if there is any change in the policies, you need to know that, right? So UPSC will be expecting that kind of changes of any schemes to be known by this UPSC aspirants. So from that point of view, you may also get a question regarding this modified Udan in your prelims. Okay, next topic is on Maharashtra's anti-conversion bills. So here we are seeing lots of articles related to this Article 21. We discussed about euthanasia, we discussed about right to menstrual health is a fundamental right under Article 21, and even there are certain articles related to right to religious freedom, and we are going to have one more what is that judgment related to the Sabarimala issue is also in news, right? So all these are talking about fundamental rights, and every year if you see your prelims question paper, at least minimum one question will be there from fundamental rights. There is no paper till today without this fundamental rights, DPSP and fundamental duties. Last year also there was a question of combination of these three, fundamental rights, duties and DPSP in pair based format, in a box format they gave. So this time also you can expect a question regarding Article 21 and religious freedom, because work amendment bill is also in news, right, which is also having certain controversy related to this right to religion. So because of this kind of anti-conversion bills which came up by different states in our country, yes, you may also expect a question regarding this Article 25 to 28, and in that they will give you statement based. In that statement based they link different Supreme Court judgments, different states related acts like that. So question can be complicated this year related to this fundamental rights, and you have to be very clear regarding that. Okay, from that point of view, this article is very important. And on this today's all topics, for sure you may expect 100% questions on this today's current affairs case. Okay, now let us see all these articles. Read out the title. A 23-year-old drank water from a well and broke a social order. So what is this article talking about? If you go to this ancient period and even the medieval period, so during this Vedic period only this caste system came into existence. Yes. At that time we came up with Chaturvarna system. What is the Chaturvarna system? In Hindus we have Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras. The people who are out of this Chaturvarna system are called as, they are Dalits and STs. And related to this Dalits who are scheduled caste, now again Supreme Court judgment is in use, yes or no? Only the people who belongs to which religion can get this status? Hindus, Buddhist and Sikhs. So because of this year this scheduled caste is very important or not? Yes or no? And even this article is talking about Mahar Satyagraha. Mahar Satyagraha is nothing but earlier whatever the water bodies are there, they have to be used by this upper caste people only. There is no right for this lower caste people to use this public water wells. Okay, at that time whatever the Satyagraha did was called as Mahar Satyagraha. Okay, you can see here months before Mahar Satyagraha of 1927, a similar symbolic act by Dalits of Dasgaon to assert rights to access public water facilities took place. Now 100 years later, people have forgotten this historic event. That means this happened in year 1927 and by this time or next year it will be like 100 years. So last time they gave question in UPSC related to 101 years. So this is also like 101 years for 2026, right? So this year you may expect Mahar Satyagraha related question in your prelims. Okay. So how can you expect a question? First one here is, in history you can get 3 to 4 types of questions, guys. First one is history famous for timeline. Yes, history is famous for timeline. You have to remember the years. They may give you timeline based questions. First one is timeline based questions. In this timeline based questions, how they can give here is, they can give you like 3 to 4 events and they will ask you to arrange in a chronological order. First what happened, later on that, later on that, later on that. This is the first timeline based question. Are you understanding? And if you see PYQs, you'll come across this kind of questions many. First one is chronological order in this timeline. And second type of question you can get is match the following based question. They'll give you events here and they'll give you A, B, C, D options and they'll give you year 1C, 2A, 3C like that. You will be getting options. That is the second type of question. Are you understanding? Events and you have to match correct years. That is the second type of question. And third type of question here is, whenever you see any events, there will be one personality who will be leading that event. Yes. For example, non-cooperation movement led by, Keda Satyagraha led by, like that. So they will be giving you on one side event name, another side they may give you year, and third column also they can add and they can give you leader who led that, and they may ask you identify the correct pair. Are you understanding? You have to know what is that event, when it was happened and who led that event. And sometimes if they want to complicate the question, they may give you, consider the following statements regarding so and so Satyagraha or so and so movement. Under that they will give you like 3 to 4 statements and they may ask you to identify correct or incorrect. So in this way, in history you can get these 4 types of questions: timeline chronological based, choose the correct answer based, statement based question, and in this way pair based question. So you have to be very much ready for that. Okay, last time from history point of view, especially modern history, they gave 2 questions on this non-cooperation movement. One is simple question, ABC related options based question, and one more question is like they gave statements based question. So this time keep star mark while you are reading your modern history for prelims, while you are doing any revision. So you have to remember this Mahat Satyagraha will be very important, and you have to see each and every point. So use Google, use whatever the sites you can use, but you have to collect clear information regarding this Mahat Satyagraha this time. Are you understanding why I am saying this much? Because for sure there is a chance of getting question. Okay, now let us see some facts regarding this Mahat Satyagraha. Mahat Satyagraha is also known as Chavdar Tale Lake Satyagraha. So and UPSC has one tendency. They will also use alternate names so that you can get confused. So this Mahat Satyagraha is also called as Chavdar Tale Lake Satyagraha, and led by whom? Very important personality, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So in statements they may give in this way: Mahat Satyagraha led by Jawaharlal Nehru, Mahat Satyagraha led by Rajgopal. Like that they will change the name. Okay, that is a tendency of UPSC. So here led by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So you know, whatever the Dalit movements were there, so majorly they are led by this Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Only there are certain exemptions which are led by other people, right? So in that way, try to remember which of the Dalit movements are led by other personalities other than this Ambedkar. So see that once. And it is located in this Mahat area of Raigad district of Maharashtra. And the aim of this Satyagraha, it is to provide rights of untouchables to use water from a public tank. So if you have seen the Shyam Singh Rai movie also, in that movie also they will show about this kind of discrimination of the scheduled caste. They are not allowed to take this water from this public tank. Do you know, can you recall that scene? That is about this Mahat Satyagraha in simple. And if you see the background of this Mahat Satyagraha, untouchables or Dalits, they were segregated in Indian society, and they are banned from using public water. That is, water which is available from the tanks or the wells, they are not allowed to use. And in August 2023, the Bombay Legislative Council passed a resolution, and this resolution led to the allowance of these depressed classes to use government maintained places. But even though this bill faced opposition from this Savarna Hindus, and in 1924 Mahat passed a resolution and its municipal council to enforce the act, but again failed to implement. Whenever this act which is passed in this councils also, they are not implementing. Why? Because there is a protest which is happening in that area from this so-called upper caste people. So because of this, despite of this passing of law to make this Dalits also to use this water from this public areas, they are not allowed because of this protest. And later on in 1927, Ambedkar launched a satyagraha to assert untouchable rights to use water in these public places. And finally they choose this place called as Mahat because they got support in this area from this Dalits. And Surendranath Tippins, the president of Mahat municipality, invited Ambedkar to hold a meeting there. And finally Ambedkar, who also belongs to this Dalit, drank water from the tank, followed by these thousands of untouchables. And he encouraged Dalit women to abandon custom of untouchability and wear saris like high caste women. And even in this satyagraha, they not only allowed these Dalits to use this public water bodies, but even women, they changed their custom of wearing a sari as a high caste Hindu. Okay, they started wearing saris. And also a riot erupted over the rumors of Ambedkar planning to enter a Hindu temple. And the tank was purified with cow urine and cow dung after everything is done. Ambedkar planned a second conference in Mahat in December 1927, but he faced legal obstacles because case had been filed by this upper caste Hindus against them. Because of this, he didn't conduct any second meeting in this Mahat area. Okay, finally in 1937, Bombay High Court ruled that untouchables have the right to use this water from the tank. So this is about entirely this satyagraha. On this areas, UPSC can ask you any question. They may ask about this: who called who called this B.R. Ambedkar to organize a meeting in this area? That is Surendranath. On this person also you may get a question. Okay, so try to make notes of this Mahat Satyagraha clearly, and for sure You will get question on this area. Okay, now let us see the next article. Look at this case. FATF report points to India's action against fraudulent entities. Okay, so this article is talking about what are the steps taken by our government of India to control black money and as well as terror financing and money laundering. They gave a report. Who gave this report? FATF. So how can you get a question here is, consider the following statements regarding FATF, Finance Action Task Force. Like that you may get a question. And actually in this FATF we have two lists. One is grey list and one is black list. So how can you get a question here is, consider the following countries. Which of the countries are under blacklist? Which of the countries under grey list? They'll give you the country list and they may ask you to find out which of the countries are part of grey list and blacklist. So these are the two possible questions from this area, guys. Okay, and this is very important. Okay, now let us see here. The article is saying that FATF Financial Action Task Force came up with a report, and this report highlighted that India has taken actions against virtual asset service providers to counter money laundering and terror financing threats. So, Government of India is taking lots of efforts and lots of steps to control money laundering and terror financing. Why? Because already we have threats of terrorism in our country, and many a times terror attacks happen in our country, and recently Pahalgam issue also, it is related to terror outfit, right? Terror outfit attacked Hindus of India, right? So actually here this article is saying that whenever we want to control terrorism in our country, obviously we have to cut the funding. So if you are cutting the funding of the terror outfit, do they have the finances to run this kind of activities? No. So because of this, the government of India is focusing on terror financing. And next one here is, what is happening in our country, not only in our country, in other countries here is, black money is created. So what is this black money? Money which earned through illegal means, on which there is no payment of tax. That is called as black money, right? So what they are doing is, they are routing this black money for funding of terrorism. That is happening in the most of the countries. So because of this, what happens? These terror outfits are getting proper funding and they are organizing different events in the different parts of the country. And how it is happening here? Through money laundering. What is the meaning of money laundering? Converting of black money into white money is called as money laundering. So actually they are using some routes of money laundering for financing of terrorism. So because of this, now Government of India is taking lots of steps related to this money laundering and terror financing related to this virtual asset service providers. So actually tell me guys, what is this virtual? Just to see this meaning. Virtual asset service providers means what? Service providers who are providing service. What is meaning of virtual? Online related service providers. What is the meaning here? What is the meaning of offshore? Offshore, onshore, I think you might have came across this in geography. Yes or no? No? Foreign investments. Okay, they are not present in India, right? They are present in other countries. They are operating on online and they are providing services through this offshore virtual asset service providers. They are going for money laundering and terror financing. So now India is taking certain steps on this virtual service providers which are operating in other countries, which are funding this terror outfits. So this is about this report. Okay, India is taking lots of steps to control this money laundering and terror financing related to this virtual asset service providers. So in this way, India is trying to control this money laundering to some extent. That is about this report. If you see about this FATF, full form is Financial Action Task Force. Please make a note, it established in year 1989 by G7. What is G7? Have you heard this G7? G7 is nothing but group of 7. Okay, now tell me which countries are part of G7. USA, Canada, Russia. No, Russia. Next. Russia is G8. G7 plus 8 is Come on. So how can you get a question here is which of the following countries are part of G7? Which of the countries part of G8? Which of the countries part of G4? Which of the countries part of G20? Which of the countries part of BRICS, BRICS plus, RCEP, ASEAN? Okay, so you have to know about these groupings and exactly the members. Members are not static. They will be going on adding. For example, BRICS. Earlier BRICS we have only 5 countries, but now it is 11 member country. So there is adding on members. And even there was a question 2025 about NATO. Which of the following are the members of NATO? Yes or no? They asked about the recent members who were added in this NATO. So from last 1 to 1.5 years, so which are the organization which updated with the new members? You have to know that. There is no choice. So overall, how many groupings will be there? Not more than 25. Not more than 25, right? So you have to see like those organizations which are in news or not from last 1 to 1.5 year. If there is any update related to the membership of that, you have to for sure note it down because there is a high chance of getting question on that. Okay, especially see about this BIMSTEC, BRICS, ASEAN, G20, NATO. Next one is G7, G8. You have to see that. Okay, here if you see this FATF, there are 38 members in this FATF including Russia. But this Russia's membership had been currently suspended, but we have to see here. But India is a member of this FATF since 2010 onwards. And what is the role of this FATF? It will focus on international financing system and it is going to combat money laundering, terror financing and other related threats to international financial systems. Okay, and we have 2 lists. One is grey list and one is black list. What is a grey list? The countries that are actively working with FATF to address strategic deficiencies in their regimes. But these countries, they are helping this terror financing. Then those countries are comes under this grey list. But what is this black list? Countries already got some restrictions from this FATF. But even though they are not listening, they are helping this terrorism. Then those countries will be placed in this blacklist. If any country is placed in the blacklist, so then what happened? Whatever the terror organizations which are working in that country will be getting freezed. Their accounts will be getting freezed. Their assets will be getting freezed. Okay, that is one advantage of keeping any country in this blacklist. So, which are the countries part of this blacklist? Any idea? Pakistan is in grey list, not in blacklist. North Korea. North Korea is also there in this blacklist. So, please note, try to see which are the countries in blacklist and grey list as of 2026. Okay, see this next article, guys. Despite assurance from center, MG Narega's workers denied work. What is the meaning of this title? Central government is giving assurance of work, but people are not getting work under this MG Narega, right? That is the title. What that is the meaning of title? So why? What do you think? Why these people who are working under this MG Narega are not getting proper work now? What is the reason? What do you think? Now recently we replaced this MG Narega with what? VVG Ramji Act. What is the full form? VV is Viksit Bharat. Continue from there. Viksit Bharat, guarantee for Rozgar, Ajivika, Mission, G for Gramin, right? Okay, now tell me, we replaced age-old MG Narega with this VBG Ramji Act. But now people are not getting work under this scheme. What do you think? What are the reasons? Come on, let's try. Why? Why these people are not getting work under this new act which had been replaced? Yes, lack of implementation. And if something new came means what happens? Obviously there will be confusion. Yes or no? Whether this or that, what to do, what not to do. Confusion is there because of this new act. Next. Yes, funds. Okay, funds issue is also there because earlier government used to give entire funding, but now it is state sponsored scheme or centrally sponsored scheme. Next. Which controversy? Okay, debates are going on. Okay, state government are not accepting to full extent. Next, come on, think, you can do it. Update. What is that? Okay, actually, Panchayat has a very powerful role in implementing of this MG Narega, but everything had not yet been updated Panchayat level because of remoteness, because of lack of internet facilities, everything. Okay. Yeah, how can you expect a question here from this VBG Ramji Act in prelims? For sure, 100% you will get question. 100%. There is no choice at all. 100% you will get question. But how can you expect a question? In which ways? What types of questions you can expect? If you know the types, then you will be prepared, right? Then if you see that kind of questions also, you will be not feel anxiety, depression, everything in the paper. Then you will be solving that question, whatever it may be. Okay, tell me, how can you expect a question? First type of question is, consider the following statements regarding VBG Ramji Act. And they'll give you statements and they'll be asking you like which are the correct or incorrect, or how many correct or incorrect. That is the first type of question. And second type of question here is, you can get a question by comparing earlier and the new. Are you understanding? MG Narega and VBG Ramji similarities and differences. On that also you can expect questions. So these are the two types of questions that you can expect. That means you need to know completely about this MG Narega and VBG Ramji Act. No issue. So now tell me guys, what are the difference between this old and new? VBG Ramji and MG Narega. Do we have any differences? If differences are there, tell me what are those differences. So on these differences you can get a question. First one, 100 days of work. Which is providing 100 days? Then what about VBG Ramji Act? 125. One difference. And next difference? Central is sponsor, central sector. Okay, second difference. And third one? Yes, during the seasons we can stall this. That is there in this new one, not in the old one. Okay, next, any other things? Allowed, Govind. Payment earlier 15 days, but now weekly payments. Remember these 4 points. On this you may get a question. Okay, now tell me which ministry will be implementing this scheme. You know differences, but tell me which ministry will be implementing this scheme. Ministry of housing? It is in rural areas or urban areas? The same thing, the similarity here is MG Narega and this new one is focusing on rural employment only. There is no urban employment component here. Now tell me which ministry? Panchayat Raj, rural development. Tell me one in that. On this ministry also, they will give you the statement, right? Yes or no? If you see PYQs, many statements, and they will change this ministry for sure. If they won't give correct ministry for sure in the statement. That's a one trap. Okay, let us see this and keep star mark for this case. So for the past 87 days, MG Narega workers have been protesting in Muzaffarpur district of Bihar. Why? Because they are not getting proper employment under this MG Narega scheme. And you know that Bihar is a poor state in our country, one of the poor state, and most of the people will be depending on this daily wage laborers, and they are protesting. And here this article is saying that union government assured them work under this VBG Ramji Act, that is nothing but Viksit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Mission, which passed by Parliament in December 2025. And it replaced earlier MG Narega scheme, will continue unchanged. So even though we changed this or we replaced this MG Narega with a new one, we are going to provide this work. But people are not getting work on the ground level. Because of that, they are doing protest from last 87 days. The reasons here is, first one is informal verbal directives from higher levels. District and block officials, they claim that they have instructions or directions not to start new works. So from higher authorities to this panchayats, they are getting some informal instructions that do not start any new work. So if they are getting instructions from higher authorities, do not start new work, will this panchayats will give the work? No, that is the first reason. And second one is transition confusion due to VBG Ramji Act. Whether new one or old one, updation things, everything is like confusion now. And next one is administrative paralysis and lack of clarity. There is no clear timeline for rollout. And ongoing center-state talks also create certain uncertainty. So many states had not been accepted for implementation of this new thing because of funding issue, that you know. And next one is discrepancy between policy assurance and ground reality. So central government is saying that MG Naregas will continue unchanged, but on the local level, local officials are acting otherwise. So because of this, there is a gap with no paper trail, and there is no accountability and transparency in this shifting from old towards new. So these are the main reasons why people are protesting. Okay, let us see some facts here. The first important point under this VBG Ramji Act is earlier 100 days, now 125 days of guarantee employment. And both are in the rural areas and they are focusing on unskilled, not skilled labor. Okay. And next point here is conditional and non-universal coverage. Okay. So here this scheme is available only in the rural areas notified by this government of India, making guarantee conditional rather than nationwide. And next one here is they are focusing on preparation of Viksit Gram Panchayat plans. Especially they want to use technology and they want to aggregate block, district and state levels so that we can integrate with our PM Gati Shakti plans also. It is nothing but improvement of logistic and infrastructure in our country. So if you are developing logistic and infrastructure in our village level also, then only we can get the status of Viksit Bharat, that is developed country status. They want to integrate villages with the state level, block level and district level and as well as at the state level things. And next one here is it is a centrally sponsored scheme now, and it is about 60 to 40% of sharing between a central government and states. And for Himalayan states it is 90 to 10%, and in union territories it is 100%. That is a sharing. And next one here is flexibility during agriculture seasons. So this bill also empowers the pause of this program. In rural areas, in agriculture, whenever we are getting like work during transplantation time or sowing time or harvesting time, at that time we can pause this scheme because the people will be getting opportunities in this nearby fields. And next one is unemployment allowance provision is there. That makes that mandatory payment of unemployment allowances by the state government if they are not providing employment opportunities for 15 days. If I enroll in that for 15 days, if I am not getting job, then what happened? They will be providing this allowances. Allowances will be provided by state government itself. Okay, so these are the points. And see this next article, guys. Secretive jungle cats need habitats outside protected areas, says the study. So this article is talking about this cat. Have you seen this cat? You will see the domestic cat. I am not saying about the domestic cat, it is jungle cat. Have you seen this? Where you can see this? In forest? Huh? Anyone from agriculture background? Where can we see these cats? In agriculture fields only. It is not seen in the forest. Such as the name here is jungle cat, but it is not seen in jungle. It is seen in agriculture. Okay. Normally in agriculture fields we can see this cat. Okay, now let us see this article. This article is saying that a new study is finding that jungle cats use agricultural landscapes aligned with previous knowledge of the species in and around farms. These cats keep rodent populations in check, thus protecting cats. However, these landscapes lie outside protected areas and harbor several threats, including fragmented habitats and speeding vehicles. Okay, now what is the problem of this jungle cats is? So these are the cats which are normally seen in agriculture lands. Normally after my marriage only I came to see this. Before my marriage I don't have any connection with agriculture, but after marriage I saw this many a times, especially in the summer season. They'll come and then they'll cause lots of problem. Actually we have, do you know this country hens? Country hens. We used to have this country hens nearby our farm. They'll come and they'll take away the small country hens. So every day we used to have a good sight on this jungle cats. So actually here the color is like dark brownish color, so that we cannot clearly see that, because normal in summer season the stray will be also in that color only, so that we cannot identify that cat clearly. Whenever this hen, whenever it makes sounds, then only we can see that, yeah, that came and that took away the hen. So in that way it will be. So here this article is saying that normally it is seen in this agriculture area, it is not seen in this thick forest or thick jungle. And actually they will focus, their main food is rodents. Normally in the crops, in the agriculture fields, we can see small holes, small burrows. In that we have this bandicoots, big rats, not small rats, big rats. So they will controlled by this jungle cat, so that it will be helpful for the farmer. But what is happening here is nowadays this agriculture is declining in our country, yes, and we are going for deforestation, and even we are going for crop diversification. And in India, because of this climate change also, this agriculture is getting affected. So because of this, indirectly this species is getting affected in our country. And this new study is saying that whenever we are focusing on conservation of any animal, we will focus on forest conservation like that. But this animal is seen in this agriculture. Agriculture comes under the private, right? So people will own their agriculture land. So if government is implementing any scheme in this private lands, will people accept that? No. Because of this animal species number is decreasing in our country. So because of this article is saying that we have to include that agriculture lands also if you are focusing on conservation of this jungle cats. Are you understanding? Because of this it is in news. Please write some facts. Jungle cats found in agriculture fields. Keep star mark. Agriculture fields, comma, grasslands, wetlands, wetlands and deserts. Next line. It is seen in India and Nepal. Only in India and Nepal we can see this jungle cats, not in other countries. Seen in India and Nepal. And IUCN Red List, it is listed as least concern. IUCN Red List, keep hyphen and write least concern. IUCN Red List, least concern. IUCN Red List, least concern. And next point, write down under Wildlife Protection Act. Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Keep hyphen and write down Schedule 2. How many schedules are there in this Wildlife Protection Act? Okay, it is under Schedule 2. And next point I saw somewhere. Okay, next time write down. India needs land policies that recognize. India needs land policies that recognize the ecological value of open ecosystems. The ecological value of open ecosystems. So on this you may get a question. So question will go in this way from environment and ecology. India is not having the land policies which recognizing the economic value of open ecosystem. Comment. So actually whenever we are having this kind of closed ecosystems, you are focusing more on conservation methods of animals, biodiversity in that region. But in this case of open ecosystem, normally people participation, community is also very important, and they play a very important role. But in this case of this jungle cat, we are not getting that kind of support from the people to conserve this animal. So because of this, you may get a question on this open ecosystem. So today's work is try to know what is this open ecosystem, what is significance of open ecosystem. Okay, you may get question on this also. Recently open ecosystem which is there in news, what does it refer? They will give you ABCD options. Or else consider the following statements regarding open ecosystem, and they will give you the statements regarding that, and they may ask you how many of above are right or incorrect. Okay. So here they gave some important points. Despite being the most widespread of India's small cats, jungle cats are understudied and have received little conservation attention. relative to larger carnivores. Okay, so all this cheetah will also belongs to this cat family only, right? But cheetahs are getting ultimate protection, and we are also reintroducing cheetah from other countries into India in this Kuro National Park that you know. But regarding this jungle cat, there is no proper studies, and even there are no proper conservation of these jungle cats. And this article is saying that a new study estimated that the population of jungle cats is around 3 lakh in our country, and this population is declining rapidly in our country. And jungle cats avoid the dense forest. They are heavily modified landscapes. They will prefer agro-pastoral and open habitats for their living. So because of this, you may get a question on open ecosystem. Okay, see this next article, guys. You know this already. On a wing, subsidies will not create demand for air travel to small towns. This article is talking about which scheme? Udan scheme. What is the full form of this Udan? Uday Desh Ka Aam Nagrik scheme. This is focusing on increasing of flights to unserved and remote areas. Why does the news? Recently government said that we are going to increase the subsidies from 3 years to 5 years, right? Because of the citizen news. Now this article is saying that subsidies will not create demand for air travel to small towns. What does it mean? Government is saying that we are increasing subsidies from 3 years to 5 years. That we discussed in the last class. Now this article is saying that subsidies will not create demand for air travel to small towns. What does it mean? Even though government is providing subsidy under this Udan scheme, it is not going to create demand for air travel. Why? What do you think so? Will you accept with this? In mains, you may get this kind of question. Under Udan scheme, government is expanding subsidies. But subsidies will not create the demand for air travel to small towns. Comment, discuss, critically analyze, examine. Now tell me what can you write. Are you understanding? Tell me here why the subsidies cannot create a demand for air travel. Online students, tell me in the comment box. Come on, think and tell me fast. You have test again. Why it is not going to create demand? Will you accept it? Yes or no? What is your own opinion? Harsha, yes or no? Will you accept it? Then how can you accept? Give me some reasons why can you accept this. Akshay, what do you think? Srimant, Devinder. Only by train or bus. Okay, next. They will no use. Okay. Next, any other? Fear of accidents. Wow, what an idea. Next, Akash. They are hesitated to use these aeroplanes. Why? They will also get some kind of adventurous experience. No, why you are saying that fear of accidents? Okay. That is there for sure, but why we cannot create demand in rural areas? They won't travel much. Okay, now you may get a question regarding this this scheme for sure, guys. Keep star mark. And the scheme name is Modified Udan. Write down Modified Udan. MODIFIED, Modified Udan. And 2026 students who are going to write prelims, for sure you may get a question. Okay, Modified Udan. So how can you get a question here is consider the following statements regarding Modified Udan, and they'll give you the statements. And you have to identify correct or incorrect statements. The first one here is this Modified Udan scheme introduced in recent budget 2025 to 2026. And in this revamped scheme, they are going to increase subsidy for 3 years to 5 years. And they are focusing on improving connectivity in which cities? Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. And they are focusing on improving of infrastructure. That is nothing but they want to build more and more airports in that area. And they want to focus on long-term operational sustainability in those areas. And what is the need here? Why we came up with this modified Udan scheme here is, under this original Udan scheme, which was launched in year 2016, we successfully operationalized around 663 routes, and we carried around 162.47 lakh passengers. That led to increased use of air transport in different tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And again, our government wants to expand this for other new routes. So because of this, we came up with this modified Udan scheme. And next one here is, what is the reason why now we want to expand the subsidy from 3 years to 5 years is, in our last class also we discussed that most of the routes had been discontinued. According to CAG report, it says that only 7 to 10% of routes remain financially viable. If there is no demand, if there is no people who are coming forward to use this aeroplanes or air transport system, will that airport authorities can give the salaries for the people, can run these flights? No, right? So because of this reason, 7 to 10% of routes only they are financially viable, others are not. But if government wants to continue this air transport system, it has to give subsidy. There is no choice. That is the first reason. And next one here is, originally they came up with this 3-year cap on subsidies, but it is not enough for airlines to develop self-sustaining markets in this tier 2 and tier 3. So because of this, from 3 years to 5 years they extended. And next one here is, most of the routes had been abandoned, they are disuse, they are under disuse. So because of this, they want to revive this kind of things. And if you see the important points under this modified Udan scheme, the first one is, they extended subsidies under this viability gap funding. Okay, that is nothing but from 3 years to 5 years, we extended this viability gap funding. And second one is direct government funding. Government is directly funding subsidies through extra levy added to the passenger tickets on major routes, and even government is providing financial support directly, which is coming from this government exchequer to this scheme now. And next one is, they are focusing on even operation and maintenance support also. They're not only focusing on building of airports, but even they are focusing on operation and maintenance of airport. Not only building airport is very important, we have to maintain that for sure. Without proper cleaning of washrooms, without proper cleaning area, without proper updation based on the technology, we cannot run those airports, right? So they are focusing on operation and as well as maintenance also now in this modified scheme. And next one is, they are also focusing on massive infrastructure expansion. They are targeting of development of 100 airports in this tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And they are focusing on indigenous aviation, which helps for Make in India and as well as Atmanirbhar Bharat in this airports. Okay, now what are the challenges here is, the first one here is, there is very low passenger demand, and even now in trains also we have certain fast moving trains like Vande Bharat. Have you heard about this Vande Bharat Express? So there is a competition from cheaper alternatives. If you want to go for a flight, so you have to pay thousands of rupees, but Vande Bharat is like less than 1000 itself based on the length and the routes. So here there is a competition from this cheaper alternatives like Vande Bharat, and even we have sleeper buses, and we are having very fast transport system also, right? And this one is, high recurring and operation and maintenance cost also limited this revenue. So because of this, now most of the airports are not working. And there are infrastructure gaps related to land acquisition, delays, technical constraints, etc. And even if we want to go for aeroplanes or routes in this tier 3 and tier 2 cities, because of the less demand, we have to go for using of small aircrafts. Do we have small aircrafts? That is also the major problem here. And even we have administrative and coordination issues. There is no proper management, there is no proper advertisement for the people, lack of awareness, everything also. The reasons why we have to go for this modified Udan scheme now. Okay, see this article guys, on Maharashtra's anti-conversion bill. So what is the meaning of anti-conversion? Conversion means converting from one to another. Anti-conversion means nothing but it is against conversion. Related to what? Religion. So it is about converting from one religion to another religion. They want to stop this. For that, Maharashtra government came up with this anti-conversion bill. In the recent past, from last 1 year, we studied many states came up with that kind of anti-conversion bills. Which are those? At least tell me one state. We discussed many a times. Kiran, Govind. Which state came up with this anti-conversion bill recently? Yes, very good. Rajasthan. Rajasthan came up with that anti-conversion bill. So, what are the provisions under that Rajasthan's bill? When this conversion happens related to religion, marriage, right? Marriage is one important thing where we can see conversion. If Hindu is marrying Muslim, Muslim is marrying Christian, what happens after marriage? They will ask their spouse to convert into their religion. So what Rajasthan bill said, if there is conversion after marriage, we are making that marriage null and void. Yes, and what they said, there will be hefty penalties if they are going for forced conversion. And this one is, if they are going for mass conversion in any area, they are going to confiscate that entire location like schools or any area. So those are the three important points that we discussed long ago. Can you recall all this? Did we discuss all those things? Very good, good memory guys. Okay, so this article is saying that Maharashtra legislature passed Maharashtra Freedom of Religion Bill 2026, and this bill wants to regulate religious conversion, and they want to prevent forced conversion or conversion by fraud, any other things. Okay, the first important point here is the ban conversion made through force. First one, fraud, allurement, coercion, or marriage related deception. If there is any way they are going for conversion, they are going to ban this conversion. And penalty is 3 to 5 years of jail and fine up to 1 lakh. And who are the vulnerable people who will often face this kind of things? Minors, women and SC/ST people. If anyone who is involving in conversion of this minors, women, SC and STs, the punishment is more. It is around 7 years of jail and 5 lakh rupees is fine. And if they are going for mass conversion is nothing but group of people who are converting from one religion to another religion, and still more high punishment, that is 10 years of jail and 5 lakhs of fine. Okay, and next one here is if they want to convert into any religion by voluntary. If I want to convert from one religion to another religion, it is my own wish. Means I have to give a 60-day prior notice to district magistrate. And post conversion, I have to report within 21 days to district magistrate. That means there is increased power of district magistrate. So the work you are going to do in the future, your work is increasing day by day. Regarding transgenders also, there is increased burden on this district collectors. And now also, if your state is passing where you are posted, if that state passes this kind of anti-conversion bill, means again you have this kind of work also. You have to check conversions in your district. Are you understanding what is your role? And this one is burden of proof. So here if there is any accused who had been alleged for conversion of people from one religion to another religion, they have to prove the conversion was not forced or fraudulent if there is any person who is accused. And next one here is which fundamental rights talks about this religion? Article 25 to Article 28. And Article 25 talks about freedom of religion, including right to propagate religion. But Supreme Court clearly said that it is not your fundamental right to forcefully convert one member or any other people from one religion to another religion. It is not coming under your Article 25. Okay, that is the thing guys. See this next questions. Read out the statements guys. It is about VBG Ramji Act. First one. First statement is VBG Ramji Act replaces MG Narega. Second one, it guarantees 100 days of wage employment to rural households. Third one, it focuses on creating durable rural infrastructure. Third one is it introduces a fixed cost sharing between center and states. How many of the above statements? Okay, which of the above statements are right? 2 is for sure wrong, right? It is 125. I'll make this 2. Answer is 1 and 3. So if you want to save your time, if you see the statements, if you find for sure that statement is wrong, eliminate in the option so that you will come with the right option. There is no need of reading all statements also in your examination. If it is like this, if the option will be like 1 only, 2 only, 3 only statements, then you have to read all the statements. Okay, based on the options which are given, you have to strategize your action in examination hall. See this next question, guys. Consider the following statements regarding Udan scheme. First one, it is a regional connectivity scheme to promote affordable air travel. Second one, implemented by Ministry of Civil Aviation. Third one, it provides viability gap funding to airlines. Udan is applicable only to metro cities. Which of the above statements are right? Huh? If it is about air travel, okay, you don't know anything about Udan scheme, but you want to attempt this scheme, attempt this question. So it is saying about air travel. So if you see this question in this statement, you can see metro. Yes, air travel will be there in metro only. That kind of play will be done by UPSC. Okay, so it is not in metro cities, it is in tier 2 and tier 3. Tier 1 comes under metro cities, that thing we discussed in the Saturday's class, right? Yes, it is in tier 2 and tier 3. It is not only in the metro cities. You can eliminate this 4. Answer is 1, 2 and 3. Okay, clear? So that's all, guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this class. And if you really like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And please do subscribe to this Rathod Science Academy so that you will be getting lots of updates regarding this current affairs case. Don't miss that. Thank you so much.